So that's how you can adjust these. You can also use blocks. And then just take a moment to check in with your surroundings. Look around for a moment, notice the lighting, the texture of the things you see. And then if you want to, you can let your eyes settle on one spot. Or you could close your eyes if that feels better. And just notice if there's any tension you might be able to release. Almost like you're letting go to gravity. Softening your tongue. Feeling where your hands are resting. Good. And then feeling your breath as it comes in and noticing it as it goes out. So today our focus will be on just being in the process, being in the moment, not having any expectations for yourself, right? But really trying to just stay present in your body, fully embodied, and with what's going on in your mind. And in yoga, this is one of the yamas or the niyamas, which is aparigraha, which just means non-grasping. So it's like you're not grasping for any result or holding on to any specific idea. If you want to, you could start to widen your inhale, feeling your rib cage expand three-dimensionally, and lengthen your exhale. And you could blow out through your mouth to start, just like a long exhale through pursed lips. And as you continue, you might decide to breathe out through your nose as well, maybe even using your ujjayi breath, hearing that sound of your breath. And checking in with how you're feeling this morning mentally, emotionally, physically, energetically. Let's just do 2 more breaths there. And then as you're ready, let's open eyes and inhale and just reach the arms open. You can always change your leg position if you need to. And as you exhale, let's give yourself a hug, right arm on top of left. Good. And then inhale, open wide again. You might even lift the chest and your gaze. And as you exhale, left arm on top of right. Good, let's keep going. And if you prefer, you could switch to eagle arms, which is wrapping one on top of the other. Okay, you can stay with the hug if that feels better. Okay, so keep going. Just noticing how your shoulders and your upper back feel. Good. All right, so next time you open, let's just exhale, let the arms come down. Now, I'm going to take away my block because my knees feel okay to do so. If yours do, you can try that. And if they don't, you're going to get into this next position differently. Okay, so let me show you. All I'm going to do is inhale here in what's called Vajrasana or rock pose. And then I'm going to exhale and I shift my hips down to the side. Okay. Yeah. You can just get there with your hands if it doesn't feel good to you. Okay. And then inhale here and exhale. Can you come back up to center? Again, if your knees bother you, just adjust. Inhale and then exhale the other side. Okay. Inhale and exhale back up to center. Good. Inhale and exhale. We're going to stay on this side. So my feet are on my left and my hip is on the right. Are you guys in that same place? If not, get with me so we don't get confused. Okay. Good. I'm going to take my left hand to my foot and I inhale, reach my right arm up. And then exhale, lean to the left. Good. Inhale here. Good. And exhale, let's come back up. And inhale, going to bring those right fingertips down and back, and left hand to right knee and twist to the right. Good. Inhale, sit up tall on that right hip. And exhale, relaxing your shoulders. And inhale again. Exhale, let's untwist. Good. Now you can use your hands or you can go to the other side the way we did before. Okay, so you're going to exhale. And you can shift all the way over or use your hands. Good. And then inhale, you're going to place your right hand on your feet. Inhale, reach your left arm up. And exhale, lean to the right. Good. Inhale, breathing into those left side ribs. Exhale. And inhale, come back up. Now we're going to twist, placing those left fingertips down. Exhale, bring your right hand across. Sit up tall on that left hip. Inhale. And exhale, twist. Good. Inhale again. Good. And as you exhale, let's come out. You can inhale, come back to center. We're going to come onto our backs now with the knees bent. And just notice how you feel on your back. Feel your sacrum on the floor, your hips, your feet. You can put your hands on your lower ribs if you'd like, where they meet your belly. And just inhale, feel a full breath here. And then a long exhale. And when you exhale, can you try to feel it coming from the pelvic floor? Almost like an elevator riding up from your pelvic floor. And then as you inhale, full inhale, ribs spread wide. And then as you exhale again from the pelvic floor. You can always pad your head and neck with a blanket. One more, but on this next exhale, we're going to lift the feet off the floor with the knees stacked over the hips. Good. So trying to take the knees a little further away from the belly so that they're a 90-degree angle, the hips are. Good. And then the feet can come down to a 90-degree angle at the knees as well, if that feels okay. Now, right here, hopefully you're already feeling your core turn on, right? What you're going to try to do is draw the ribs down toward the floor. So these front ribs towards your back ribs toward the floor, while maintaining a little bit of a neutral pelvis. So you're not trying to bring your belly button all the way down. Instead, think elevator riding up from pelvic floor up toward belly button on your exhales. Good. Now you can stay here, or on your exhale, you might very slowly begin to tap the right heel down to the floor, and then inhale to bring it back up. Good. And you're just going side to side like that. But as you're doing it, you're going so slowly. You can always take more than one breath if you need to try to maintain the ribs pulling down. And on the exhales, the pelvic floor also lifting up, elevator riding up. And if you can, you're trying to keep the same bend at your knee, right? So it's not, the heel isn't coming any closer to the butt, if you can. Good. So if it feels easy, go slower. Really engage. Good. Now, next time you come up, let's exhale, place the feet down. Inhale, spread the arms wide. If you want to, you can windshield wiper the knees here, side to side. And just notice how you're feeling through your center. Going really slowly. And now coming back up to the center, we're going to keep the knees parallel and the feet parallel, hips distance. And now we're going to do a little bit of something different that we don't normally do, with kind of like a yoga crunch, but different. Okay, so hands behind head. Inhale. And as you exhale, feel from the pelvic floor lifting. And we're going to keep the elbows wide as you carry the head up, lifting sternum towards ceiling. And then inhale, lower back down. Same thing. So often when we do this, we're working different muscles. We're curling our elbows around our ears and we're working more of the front flexors. But here we're trying to work the lower abdominals a little bit more and integrate the pelvic floor more. Okay, so just going slowly, letting your neck rest in your head, or your head rest in your, you know what I mean, in your hands. That's where it's going to rest. Good. Now, next time you come up, if you want to, you could exhale, twisting the sternum to turn toward the left, and then inhale, stay up in the center, and exhale, twist the sternum to turn to the right. So don't think elbow turning, instead think sternum turning. Okay, and keep your feet grounded, keep breathing, and relax your neck. Just a couple more here, trying to activate now more of the oblique muscles. And then as you're ready, come on down to the floor. You could either windshield wiper or you could bridge pose a few times just to kind of stretch out the front of the abdominals. See what feels better in your body. Come back to your breath if you've lost it at all. And just notice where your mind is. See if you can bring it back to the moment, to your current experience. Okay, now we'll come back down to our constructive rest pose. And we're just going to exhale, bring both knees into your belly. Good. Give them a squeeze. And then just start to rock side to side. So I've got one hand on each knee, and my knees are wide. And I'm just going to tug in on one, going to one side, tugging on the other, going to the other side. Okay, now we're going to coordinate with our neighbors in the studio, at least, so you don't run into each other. Okay, so you can keep your hands there, or let's try letting go, actually. Let it go with your hands, but keeping rocking. And next time you rock to the right, let's rock to the right, send your left knee back, roll onto that right shoulder and rock all the way up to a side seat. You might need to push with your hands, okay? Now, I'm going to show it now that you're upright. You can see me. I'm going to show it without hands. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip my right shoulder back down, roll over. I used my elbow a little bit, to help me come up. And see if you can give this a shot. You're trying to make it as easy as possible, right? So I'm not doing a lot of efforting here. I'm more just using my body. Yeah, you could turn sideways on your mat too if you got a close neighbor and you're running into them. Let's see if you can figure it out. Remember, you can use your hands, right? You can absolutely use your hands. You're kind of rolling down, right? And when you go to the side, you kick the top leg back a little bit. That gives you a little bit of movement to get up there. Yeah, that'll help you get up, okay? Let's just do one more. And if you come to this class often, I love rolling around on the floor. Yeah, it's just fun. It gets your core engaged. Let's come on to hands and knees once you're done, and do a couple cats and cows just to feel that. And get yourself set up so you feel grounded through hands and feet. Good. And now it's coming into more of a neutral position. We're going to spread the fingers wide and press down through your knuckles. You guys, looking at your fingers, can you make your knuckles bend a little bit? That's what you're looking for. So there's no hyperextension through your hands, okay? So get those knuckles to bend. And then from here, you're going to lean forward. We're activating the wrists. We're not trying to stretch them passively, but more actively. So we're going to lean forward just until you feel a stretch. So for some of you with wrist issues, that's not going to be far, okay? And then from here, we're going to keep that and see if you can exhale, lift the wrists up, keeping the bend in the knuckles, and inhale, slowly come back down and repeat. Okay, so we're going to do it about 10 times. You want it to feel like you're weightlifting with your forearms and wrists a little bit. So you have to find the right position so that you've got enough weight over the wrists. Yeah, when you come back down, so I'm already getting a little bit tired through my forearms. You're really pushing down like you're pushing the floor away. Oh, and I forgot to mention you're trying to keep the elbows straight. Good, and keep breathing. Few more. You guys starting to feel it? Okay. Okay, now we're gonna do the backs of the hands. So when we do the backs of the hands down, you'll see I'm turning my fingers inward a little bit. Okay, and if you can't get them all the way down because you've got wrist issues, you don't need to put them all the way down. Okay, so just put them down. See how I can also take weight off by sitting back. That's another way to put less weight, okay? And from here, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna roll up, but just to the knuckles, just to like the finger knuckles, and then slowly push back down. Okay, and roll up, keep breathing, and back down. And on both movements, up and down, I'm pushing. So I'm feeling like I'm pushing into the floor as I go up, and I'm pushing into the floor even as I go down. Okay, keep breathing. The fingers stay spread wide, and you only come up to these bottom knuckles here, okay? The bottom knuckles. Okay, you guys, that's it for that. You're gonna sit however you wanna sit, and we'll make fists with the wrists, okay? You're gonna inhale and exhale, turn the fists down. And as you inhale, slowly come up and spread the fingers wide, pulling the wrist back as much as you can actively. And then exhale, fists and down. Good. Inhale, up and spread. Right, and you can sit however you want to sit. Relaxing through your neck and shoulders. So all these wrist stretches are a great thing to do every day, even if you don't work with your hands a lot. Just keep them moving, keep them active. Couple more. All right, you guys, the next time you come up, let's just bring the arms down. Inhale, roll the shoulders up. Exhale, take them down your back. And then we'll inhale, come onto hands and knees again. Head and exhale, we're gonna stretch it back. I've got my toes tucked. I'm gonna come into puppy dog pose. Head coming down between arms. Good. Then I'm gonna inhale, rise back up and turn the palms upward. And exhale, you might need to bend the elbows or they might not be able to stay fully upward as you exhale, go back. And then inhale back up. Place the palms down. Now it's not child's pose, right? You're not sitting towards your heels. You're keeping the hips above the knees, stretch back. And then inhale up, palms up. And exhale, stretch back. And then inhale, come up. Let's place the hands down and exhale to downward dog. So just tucking the toes. You can always go to puppy dog pose at any time if it feels better to you. Okay, and just move around however you want to. Notice how you feel. Like get back into your feeling body here. If you've gone into thinking or just kind of listening to instructions, instead kind of get into your own feeling sense, felt sense. And now let's get a rhythmic breath going again. So let's inhale, maybe for a count of 4. You can use your Ujjayi breath or natural breath. And exhale for 6 if you can. Good. And then on your next exhale, think lifting from the pelvic floor as you start to roll forward to plank pose. You could always put the knees down if you want to. On your hands, can you dig your fingers in so your knuckles bend? Good. Inhale here, protract the shoulder blades, engage the glutes. Good. And as you exhale, let's come down. Let's bend the knees and keep the shoulder blades away from the floor, or your shoulder heads away from the floor as you slowly lower down onto your belly. We'll inhale to Sphinx pose up on your forearms so you can get those elbows forward, press your pubic bone down. Good. And as you exhale, let's reach the left arm forward and twist around to look to the right. You can let the knees bend. And then inhale back to the center. And exhale, right arm goes forward, twisting around to the left. Good. And inhale to center. Good. Now, we're going to come into forearm plank from here. But for some people, if you don't have a good tuck, like if you've got a really tight hip area or your low back feels injured, then coming in this way can sometimes aggravate it. Okay, so if that's you, then you're just going to come up onto hands and knees and come into it. Okay, otherwise you can try it with me. We're going to inhale here and then exhale, engage the lower abdominals and tuck the tail more. As you start to lift off, your elbows need to be below your shoulders. Okay, and now I'm just in a knees down forearm plank. Right, I'm going to feel like I'm sliding my elbows back toward my hips. And then if you want to, you could come up to a knees up forearm plank just by tucking the toes and lifting the knees. Keep tucking the tail under and engaging your glutes. Really nice, you guys. Neck is in neutral. And feel as though you're sliding your elbows back on the mat, even though they're not moving. And you can always come down to knees for a little less. Let's do one more breath there. Good, and then let's drop to knees, and you can either go to a forearm puppy dog or you can come into downward dog. Take a couple breaths there. Inhale, just feeling the breath spread your rib cage. And as you exhale, just exhale, relaxing somewhere. Good. And let's come up from that or down, depending on where you are. Just grab a block. And I'm going to come onto whatever side faces me. And what I'm going to do, the bottom arm, okay, so for me, it's my left. I'm going to put my right ear on my block, and I'm going to stack my knees up. And I've got my left arm out on an angle like this, you guys, on the floor. So it's up here, wherever I start to feel a stretch. So not up by your ear, out here. You know, this arm. Other way. Ready? Bring this arm down. It's this arm, and it's going to come back here toward Wendy. Oh, yeah, there you go. And your knees can stack. Okay, you guys got it? You got to stretch in the front of your arm and into your pec. Yeah, see if you can find it. So you just need to move the arm around. And if you have an injured shoulder, right, you're adjusting. So we're looking for a stretch here in the pec minor, okay? Or you might also feel it into the deltoid and even into the bicep. You just don't want to feel tingling. You don't want to feel like nerve gliding, okay? You want to feel muscle stretching. Good. And breathe. Just let's take another breath there. Good. And then to come out, it's going to push yourself up. You can bend that elbow and we'll go to the other side. Okay, so just switching over, the bottom arm stretches out and you got to go carefully to see where it wants to be on an angle. It can be bent or straight, and you can use the front arm to push into the floor. You're not looking for your biggest stretch that you've ever had here, okay? Remember that when you're doing these static stretches, holding it for 30 seconds seems to be a good result. I like a minute just to allow the nervous system to relax, but you only want to be at about a 50% of your maximum stretch. That works better. And then slowly pressing up and out. And from here, you can come onto your hands and knees again and back to your downward dog. Feeling an inhale, spreading your rib cage. Exhale. And then let's come down to our knees. Gonna place our forearms on the floor. And you protract the shoulder blades. So that's widen them. Okay, so it's press into the elbows and widen them. Good, and just feel the engagement that happens. Elbows right below shoulders. Okay, now looking at the space between your forearms, can you imagine you've got a beach ball between your elbows and just float the elbows off the floor? So you're squeezing that beach ball with your elbows, squeezing them in. Good. Feel what that's like. Let your neck relax, let your jaw relax. Elbows are just an inch or two off the floor if possible. Good, keep breathing. Good, and then just place them back down. Good. Now let's keep those protracted shoulder blades. Really press into the floor. Tucking the toes. Exhale, can you float the knees off the floor? Just an inch or two. Good. Let's see how that feels. Let your neck relax. Let's move the head around a little bit. Good. Good. And then you can place those back down. Now, you could try each again, or you could try both at the same time. Okay, so up to you how you want to do this. You can try to hold it maybe 5 breaths or a couple breaths each. And here we go. When you're ready, exhale. Maybe you can float both. Give it a shot. Good. Keep protracting and squeezing your beach ball. Good. Jaw relaxed, neck relaxed. Nice, everybody. Keep breathing. And then exhale, you can go to down dog or puppy dog. Take a sigh, whatever you choose to do. Maybe move the head around. If you're on the floor, you can rock it on your forehead. If you're in down dog, just turning it side to side. Following the breath in for 4. Out for 6. And again. And now let's slowly come up to the front of our mats toward a forward fold. We can meet there. Just gonna let everything bend and round a little bit if it feels okay. Let your neck go. And then as you're ready, let's inhale, hands above knees, extend your spine forward, get really long. And then exhale, we'll sit back into the heels like you're sitting in a chair behind you. Let's inhale, reach up. Good, exhale, arms out to the sides and down. And we're just gonna do a few sun salutations here. We'll inhale, reach up. You can always use your blocks too at the front. Exhale and fold. Inhale, let's reach the spine forward. And exhale, let's step to plank or any modification of plank. Inhale here, protract those shoulder blades, really nice, you guys. And exhale, you can come straight down or you can drop to knees first, but let's keep those shoulder heads away from the floor. Let the elbows come out on a diagonal. And then inhale, any kind of cobra or sphinx pose, anything you want to do. Shoulders away from ears, glutes engaged. Exhale, come down. Inhale, let's place hands like you're going to do a push-up. So the elbows kind of point back on a diagonal, not like a chaturanga. That can really hurt the shoulders. So just keep them out. Roll shoulder blades onto your back. Then exhale, draw ribs in. Engage core and see if you can press up to your knees or to plank in one unit. And then back to your down dog or your child's pose. And just take a couple of breaths there. Checking in with your whole body, right? Being in the moment so you can better take care of yourself and so you can adjust your practice. Right? So that even though we're practicing yoga together and I'm guiding you, this really is about your practice and doing what's necessary for you today. Getting to know yourself better. Take one more exhale there. Then let's inhale, just bend the knees and you can walk or step or hop forward. And inhale, hands above knees, extending your spine forward. Exhale, sitting in a chair. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms out and down. Let's go again. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reaching spine forward. Exhale, plank. Good. Inhale, plank, engage glutes. Good. Exhale, lowering down in a way that works for you. Good. Inhale, any kind of cobra with glutes engaged. Good. Exhale, lower down. Place hands for push-up. Inhale, roll shoulder heads back, tuck toes. Exhale, engage core as you lift. Good. Back to down dog or child's pose. 3 breaths. Good. And then let's slowly come down to knees this time. And we're going to come onto our left side, but face me, okay? So you guys in the room, I mean, face me. Back wall, you know what to do, okay? We're going to come onto our forearm on our sides. And my fingers are facing forward, right? And I'm just going to roll my shoulder blade down my back. And my knees are just stacked. And I inhale here and exhale, just lift your hip off the floor. Yeah, that's all. So this is a modified forearm side plane. You might choose to do this as we progress, right? This is always an option right here. If this hurts, you just stay thinking about lifting, okay? You just feel like, oh, I'm going to engage, okay? Take one more breath here and then exhale down. Good. Now this time you can do that again, or you could straighten the legs. I like to start with them bent, and then when I exhale, come up, I straighten them out like so. I've got my top foot in front of my bottom foot. Let's try it. Inhale here, shoulder blade back, exhale up. Let's take the top hand behind your head. Yeah, and bring the head back so it lines up with your upper back. That's it. Inhale. Good. And then exhale, lower down. Yeah, let's stack the knees up and bring them forward. And then turn toward your left, placing your forearms on the floor parallel. Let your head and neck relax. Good. Just a little twist here. 2 breaths, feeling the rib cage expand on the inhale. And 1 more breath. Good. And then we're going to stay in this position and just lift the top arm up. Does that make sense? Sorry. Keep the left arm in this position. Now, if you've got a funky left shoulder or really tight, you might need to turn it more forward like this, or even back to where we had it before, okay? I'm keeping mine out, but you don't have to, okay? And I'll roll that shoulder blade back, and this time I'm gonna inhale, and as I exhale, I'm gonna open up into my skydiver pose, okay? So it's like I start here, inhale, I'm gonna exhale, open up, I'm engaging my glutes, right? I'm pressing my chest forward and my hips forward. I'm gonna inhale here. Good, and exhale back down. Good, and then you can try it again. Okay, remember shoulder can adjust. Inhale. Now as you exhale, you slide that shoulder blade down your back, open up, imagine you're skydiving. I mean, if you want, if that's exhilarating for you. If it's totally frightening, maybe don't. Good, and keep breathing. And then exhale, come down. Good, let's switch sides. So we're gonna start off with the fingers forward and just, we're testing this shoulder. Okay, so we're gonna inhale here, fingers pointing towards Wendy Baranka, hands pointing toward this one here. Yeah, you got it. And then from here, roll the shoulder head back, exhale, you're just lifting. So you're just testing here. How's the shoulder feel? And engage all around your middle, right? And then exhale, come down. Decide if that one's better, if you want to try the straight leg version. Okay, inhale here. Exhale, shoulder blade rolls down back. I'm lifting up. I'm going to bring my hand behind my head. Just helps me to bring my head back when I do that. Engaging glutes, everybody. Yep. Keep breathing. Check in with the shoulder. Good, and then to come down, bending the knees. Let's stack them, bring them forward a little bit, and twist toward the right, forearms parallel. Let your neck relax. Feel a big breath into both sides of the rib cage. And a long exhale or sigh. Good, okay, we're gonna come into that skydiver on this side. So if you know you need to adjust that bottom arm, make it more of a diagonal or forward, please do, okay? I'm gonna inhale here, and as I exhale, I'm gonna come up as I simultaneously bring my shoulder blade down my back, glutes, and breathe. Good. Now you can hold it up, or you can come down and do it again. Like getting those glutes engaged, getting up the chest. Good. Come down when you're ready. And this time, we're just going to spin back toward the front of our mat if you've changed it. And you can stretch back into down dog or into child's or puppy pose. Inhale. If you're in down dog, let's lift the heels. And as you exhale, let's shift them over to the right toward the floor. Good, breathe into the side body there, inhaling and exhaling. And inhale, lifting the heels, we'll shift them over to the left and then bring them down. Hold for a moment. Inhale, breathing into the right side ribs. And exhale. Let's inhale up through the center and exhale, just let the heels come down in the direction of the floor. They likely won't reach it, that's okay. Good. Good, and now let's come down to our knees if you're not already there. I'm gonna take the right leg out to the side. Yeah. My toes are pointing forward. You can see if yours want to do that, if that feels all right. Okay, just do a few cats and cows here. Inhale, tail up, exhale, round. Good, notice how your inner thigh feels and your hip. Okay, now next time you tilt tail up, let's stay there and press your right foot into the floor strongly. So you feel your adductor turn on. Okay, protract the shoulder blades, inhale. Now as you exhale, is it possible to lift that leg off the floor? And then inhale, bring it back down. Press it into the floor when you bring it down. And then exhale, see if it feels okay to lift it. Okay. Inhale, bring it down, press it down. Good. Exhale up. Inhale down. Good, now this time we're gonna exhale up and then bring it back behind you. Square the hips to the floor. Get your core engaged. Good. Inhale, protract shoulder blades. Yeah, draw the ribs in. Exhale, bring it down. And inhale, left leg out to the side. Good. Exhale, press it into the floor as you do some cats and cows. You can inhale as you tilt tail up if you want, and exhale as you round. And now next time you tilt tail up, let's find neutral. All right, so engage rib cage, protract shoulder blades. Inhale, press that left foot into the floor strongly. And then exhale, can you see if you can lift it a little bit? Good. And then inhale, bring it back down. Next time you lift it, can you try to do so without getting jacked up in your shoulders or neck? Exhale, lift. Inhale down, press it down. Exhale, lift. Good, inhale down, press it down. This time we'll do the move. Okay, so we'll exhale, lift. And then inhale, bring it back behind you and square hips toward floor. Good. Then bring your ribs in so that your leg isn't any higher than your hip, just in a core pose. Good. And then exhale, bring that knee in. And you can go back to your downward dog or your child's pose. Pressing fingertips into the floor. Pressing your hands down as you lift your hips up and back if you're in downward dog. Good. Finding that rhythmic breath. And inhaling here. And as you exhale, let's come down to the floor with the knees. We're going to turn so that let's turn so you can see me, right? And you might need to pad your knee. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be on my left knee with my right leg out to the side. Okay. Left knee, right leg out to the side. You may need a block down on your left. You might not. Okay. Just going to inhale, hands behind head. Spread elbows wide. Good. Exhale, press right foot into floor. Good. Inhale. And exhale, a little lean with your elbow toward your extended leg. Good. Then inhale back up. And exhale, a little lean the other way. Good. Inhale back up. So feel your core turn on to support you, right? You don't have to lean very far. Just go especially to the left, right? Just see, can you feel your core supporting you? Good. One more. Good. Now this time, we're going to bring that left hand down to the floor. So you can use a block or the floor. Now let's place right hand on hip. Good. Inhale, let's lift the right leg up. Good. Exhale. Good. Can you bring your back of your head to line up with your upper back? Good. Inhale. Exhale. Now you can stay right here, or you could try this. You're going to inhale, try to bring that left leg forward, and exhale, bring it back. I'm actually going to change the breath. Let's inhale, take it back behind you a little bit, engage your glute. Exhale, bring it all the way forward. Good. Inhale, take it back, engage the glute. Now, if this is so hard, like you're about to lose it, you're holding your breath, you could put the foot on the floor too, right? So you can always tap it down. Keep breathing. Bottom shoulder is stabilizing, right? It's rolling back. Core is stabilizing. Glutes are stabilizing. Okay, one more. As you guys then just come through the center, let's place the foot down and just stretch the arm overhead any way you want to. Okay, so you can move around. You can do arm circles. You could be on forearm. Well, forearm's a little hard in this position. You could be on fist, Wendy, right? You could always do this. Yeah. Good. Fists can help for wrist issues for sure. All right. Now let's come down onto your knees. Inhale and then exhale, downward dog. Just noticing the two sides of your body. You can wiggle your hips. Shake out your head and neck. So we're doing a little bit of a different type of class than we normally do today, right? Just kind of working on some specific areas, really focused. And then exhale down to knees. Let's still face the front and just switch sides, right? I mean, I guess we always work on a specific area, but really targeted, smaller movements. Okay, from here, I'm gonna extend the left leg, you're on your right knee, okay? Coming up, hands behind head, inhale. And then exhale, you could lean down to one side. And inhale back up. And exhale, lean the other way. So go slowly so you can feel your core, especially when you go to the right, that you feel your core supporting you, right? Okay, now next time we come to the right, let's bring the hand down to the floor or a block. Get your fingers facing whichever way feels best on your shoulder. Inhale, roll the shoulder head back. Hand can be on hip. Exhale, let's lift the leg. You could always stay right here, okay? Inhale. Exhale, you could also try to bring the leg forward. And then inhale, we're taking it back through hip extension, okay? And then exhale into hip flexion. And so just really trying to work on hip stability here and core stability. Just keep breathing. My head always comes forward, right? So I'm always reminding myself, bring the back of my head back to line up. Good. Now, next time you pass through neutral, let's put the foot down. Okay, you can inhale, take that left arm in any direction. You could do circles with it or whatever feels best to you. Good, and then we'll slowly come back around to your downward dog again. And take a couple of sighs once you get there, or wiggle the hips or move the legs. And then let's breathe together, following your breath in for several counts and then out longer. And now let's slowly come up to the front of our mats in a forward fold. Then hands above knees. Let's really reach the spine forward. Neck is neutral. Then exhale, bend the knees like you're sitting in a chair behind you. And inhale, arms up. Good. Exhale, arms out and down. Just pausing for a moment. Can let your eyes close. Just get a felt sense of your whole body here. Feeling the width of your inhale and the length of your exhale. And then with eyes open, let's inhale, reach arms up. And exhale to fold. I'm going to find blocks. I should have told you that before, but you can grab them if they're not right there. Inhale, reach your spine forward. And then exhale, let's take the left leg back to a lunge with the knee off the floor. Good. Yeah. Good. Shoulder blades down your back. Let's shift so that right hip comes back. Right hip comes back. And feel it turn on. Good. Inhale. Now exhale. Let's take the left block away. Put the hand on the floor and twist open to the right. If that feels too low, just lower the block. Inhale here. And exhale. Good. Now, I'm going to slowly come onto the pinky toe edge of my back foot as I walk my right foot over to the right. So it comes, the toes point to the right. Yeah. I'll show you guys back here. So facing this way. You got it. And you can walk it right here. There you go, even further. There you go. And then really lift that bottom hip away from the floor, you guys. Of course, if this feels too much, you can always shift back to where you are. And you're on the pinky toe edge of the back foot. Like that. Yes. Good. Now from here, inhale. So this is a version of side plank, right? And as you exhale, I'm going to slowly walk that foot back. And I'm going to turn toward my left. My back heel comes down. And now I'm stretching the inner thigh of that left leg. You can have hands down for support or blocks. Yeah, so my right knee bends. Right knee bends, you got it. So you're stretching here, right? Yeah, any depth though. It could be up high, it could be down low, whatever feels good. And then I'm going to slowly go back to the first position. So I start turning toward my right, moving that foot around. Hand can come to floor or block, pinky toe edge of back foot. And now I'm going to let my hip actually come toward the floor. Yeah. This is what I'm doing. I'm going back and forth, okay? You can take as long as you want. So I'm going to exhale, engage my core and my shoulder, and turn toward my left, adductor stretch or inner thigh stretch, okay? And then I'm going to take as many breaths as I want or need to. And I shift back around, turn toward my left. I'm going to let my left hip come down. Yeah, keep going. Okay, so make this your own. You don't have to do it like I'm doing it, okay? It can be what feels right in your body, and it can be at your own speed. I'm gonna do it right next to you. Here, Baranka, I'll do it right here. Ready? So you're here. Okay. Ready? Okay, this knee is bent. And then I'm going to slowly turn here to a lunge. And then I'm going to slowly walk this foot around. Yes. And then I'm going to let that. Yes. Keep breathing, right? And then I'm going to lift up, turn around to my left. Yeah. Yes. Good. Okay, you guys, next time you pass through the center, let's step back to plank pose. You can be in knees down plank, forearm plank, whatever you need to. Inhale here, protract those shoulder blades, engage the glutes. Exhale, either go through a vinyasa, lowering to the floor, or you can go back to child's pose or downward dog. Just choose what's right for your body right now and keep breathing. Good. And just take 2 more breaths wherever you are. And 1 more breath. If you're coming from down dog, you can bend the knees and bring the left leg forward. If you're coming from something else, just meet us there whenever you're ready, okay? You can use your blocks here, high lunge. Shoulder blades move down back. Can you engage your right glute? Good. Shoulder blades, I already said that, away from ears, but I'll say it again. Good. Inhale here, engage your back thigh. Yeah. And now as you exhale, you can either come to a low block with your right hand or the floor. And we're just twisting to start, just a twist. Our feet are staying the same, okay? And breathe. Good. You could always be on knees if it feels better. Back knee. And 1 more breath. Good. And now we'll try inching. So now we'll try that first position. The first thing I do is I start to walk my left foot over to the left, and then I naturally come onto the pinky toe edge of the back foot. And we're just holding this position for several breaths. Yeah, that's it. And this foot points right here, even like by this line. Yes, and that'll give you more leverage. And so then you're lifting that bottom hip away from the floor. How you doing? That one's not for you. What I would do, Wendy, is stay here then. Yeah, you don't even ever have to go into this one if you don't like it. It's just not working for you, okay? Now from here, if you are in that, or even if you're not, we're gonna go to the adductor stretch. So we start to turn toward your right, right? You can use your hands. You bend the left knee, stretching the right inner thigh. Any height, right? It can be up high, it can be down low. Good. And then you just move between the two at your own pace. Okay, so you start to turn toward the left, place right hand down if it's not already down, and you can twist all the way around, and you can lower that right hip if you want to, getting into more of a side and hip stretch. And then you're going between the two, making it your own. Okay, back and forth. Now always hang out in one or the other. That's it, you guys, nice. And just kind of going slowly, noticing where your tight spots are, breathing, getting deep into the hips. I got this movement from somebody else, but she just calls it the hippie stretch. Good. And next time you pass through the center, let's exhale to plank pose. Inhale and plank pose. And exhale, same as last time, either vinyasa or down dog, child's pose, your own choice. Whenever you choose to be still, just let your breath sigh a bit. Just letting things go. Good. Checking in whole body and how your mind feels, how your emotions feel. Good. And then we'll meet at the front of the mat when you're ready in your forward fold. Sway the weight forward and back on your feet a bit. And then slowly inhale, extend spine forward. Exhale, bend the knees. And inhale, rise. Exhale, arms out and down. Let's inhale to stand tall here. Exhale, step left leg back, warrior one, but feet hips distance apart from one another. Good. Shift right hip back. And let's inhale, hands behind head again. Thumbs running down the neck. Can you just allow your skull to rest back into your hands? And feel the width of your breath, engaging your back glute here. Good, you guys. Can you feel steadiness through your breath? Good. And then as you take your next exhale, let's bring the arms down and let's lift the back heel and tuck the tail forward. That's it. Really engage the back glute so you feel a stretch through the front of the left hip. Good. Nice. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Good. And exhale, let's bring the hands behind your back, interlacing fingers. You can bend the elbows and place the knuckles on your sacrum. And inhale, roll the shoulder heads back, squeezing elbows toward one another. Good. And then exhale, you can hinge at the hips, reaching chest forward. You might want to straighten the arms. Good. Keep shifting right hip back so it feels really stable. Good. Inhale here, neck at ease. Good. Exhale. Inhale again. And as you exhale, let's slowly bring the left hand down to the floor. We're coming back into that twisting lunge, okay? Now, you can always bend the back knee down too, right? So you could be here. Right? Good. Now, from here, you guys, you have lots of choices. We're gonna do a side plank of your choice. So I'll remind you of all of them. One is this modified one, right? That was here, we did last time. Another is legs straight here, okay? Another is any of these positions we did, right? On knees or full. So choose your own adventure, right? And just come into any side plank of your choice. Whatever's best for your wrists, shoulders, and breathe. Challenge yourself here, but not into pain, okay? All right, let's take a couple more breaths there. Now, depending on what position you chose, you're either coming to plank or you're bending knees and dropping down to the floor. And then shifting around to your plank pose and downward dog, or your choice. Inhaling here, exhale is out your mouth. Let's inhale, bend the knees, looking between your hands, and exhale, step or hop up to the front. Inhale, extending your spine forward. Exhale, sitting in a chair. Inhale, rise. Exhale, arms out and down. Inhale, standing tall. Exhale, right leg back, warrior one, but feet are like on two skis rather than tightrope, okay? Shift left hip back, brain cradle, hands behind skull, letting your neck and jaw release. Engage your back glutes. You might need to bend the back knee a little bit to make that happen. Inhale. Exhale. One more, inhale. And as you exhale, slowly bring arms down. Let's bend back knee, lifting back heel, tuck tail forward. Feel a stretch here. Good. Inhale, hands clasped behind back, squeeze elbows toward one another. Good. Exhale, if you want to, you could shift that left hip back and start leaning forward. So your leg will straighten. You might want to straighten your arms too. Good. Keep reaching your chest, but be at ease through your neck. 2 more breaths. Nice, you guys, feeling your own stability through your breath and hips. 1 more breath. And from here, we're bringing right hand down, twisting lunge. So you can inch that back foot back, twist open to the side. Good. Now, I didn't mention this version of side plank either, which you could do, right? You're going to choose your own side plank, any of the options. Okay, so it could be shifting around. It could be bottom knee down, both legs up, or any of the forearm versions. Good. Just keep your breath going. Notice how your neck and shoulder and wrist are doing. Try to engage through your center. Nice, you guys. Maybe 2 or 3 more breaths. And from there, we're finding plank pose. Just think expansion, whatever one you've chosen. And then when you're ready, you're finding plank pose. Back to your child's or your down dog or your vinyasa. Taking a sigh out your mouth. Good. If you're in child's pose, just notice where you want your arms. They don't have to stretch out in front, right? They could be back at your sides or below your forehead. 2 more breaths. Good. 1 more breath. And then let's come down to the knees or up to the knees if you're in child's pose. Let's interlace the hands on our elbows, okay, on our forearms. And let's do the same thing with protract to the shoulder blades, right? So you're lifting up like this, right? Boom, okay? Feel that strength. Inhale. And exhale, you could give dolphin pose a try by lifting the knees up. Just keeping tabs on your shoulders. You can always choose something else. If you're doing dolphin, can keep the knees a little bent and walk them closer so that you can press into the elbows, lifting your ribs away from your shoulder joint. Let the neck be at ease. Good. If it feels like too much, come out at any time or switch to down dog. Keep lifting those ribs away. That's it, away from the floor and away from your shoulders, up toward the hips. Good, and then let's rest, you guys. If you can rest seated however you want, I'm going to show you something, okay? So if dolphin pose itself is super challenging, you're just going to stick with practicing that. But you could also say it's just too much opening. You've got injuries. You could be in forearm plank, right? You could just be working your shoulders here, okay? Those are those options. If you're okay in dolphin, when you come up, right, sometimes we're here. We're going to try to walk the feet in so that you can press back, lifting your ribs away from your shoulders. If dolphin felt okay, you might try some dolphin dives. And all those is I stay lifted, protracted through the shoulders. I exhale. I bring my face over my hands. And I inhale, go back. I'm not doing this though, do you see? Not this, ow. Okay, so I'm going to stay here. So again, just choose what's right for you. It could be forearm plank holds on knees or up, or it could be dolphin, or it could be dolphin dives. All right, let's try it, okay? So choose what's right for you. Protract the shoulder blades, whatever forearm position you're choosing, and then exhale, come into your pose. If you're in dolphin, bend the knees a little. That'll help you to take weight off your shoulders. Okay, you can even walk your feet closer, right? Lift ribs away. Now, the dolphin dives, you exhale, you keep the pressure into the floor. Yes, that's it. And you bring your nose towards your hands, and then you inhale, go back. That's it, you guys. Nice. Yes, you're building shoulder stability also through your end range of motion, but you're being aware of not doing too much, right? Coming out when you need to. Good. And then whenever you're ready here to be done, you can come down to your knees. Let's take a couple of breaths in child's pose with the arms back at your sides, shoulders rounding. Forehead can come to the floor or a block or a blanket. And as you inhale, can you feel your rib cage expand? Your back expand. And as you exhale, just letting go somewhere. A couple more. And I really like, if you can reach, I like to hold my heels a little bit here, just feeling that connection. Feel your breath against your thighs. And then slowly you can place your hands next to your head. And we're going to lift the hips up. So come into a quadruped, actually. Yeah, we are going to do rabbit pose. Now, the way we're going to do it is we'll start here, okay? And then rabbit pose is tucking the chin. So just make sure your neck is okay to do that. Top of the head comes to the floor. And your hands can stay right here, right? So they can just kind of position yourself, holding yourself, feeling this connection between top of the head and floor, or can reach for the heels. And then I pull away from it. So I just get a bigger stretch through all of this when I do that. Okay. So as you're ready, come in. You can always choose child's pose instead. And you're not going for forehead. You're going for very top of head. Right? That's it. Play around. Notice how your neck feels. That's it. Yes. Getting more, it's more of neck flexion and upper back flexion. As you breathe in, breathing into that space in your upper back. As you breathe out, just noticing that connection with the top of your head on the floor. And then slowly, you can release your feet if you're holding them. Put your hands next to your head and just roll back onto your forehead in child's pose, arms however they feel best. Letting your jaw soften, noticing how the neck feels. Good. Let's take 2 more breaths there. One more breath. And then let's slowly press ourselves up. You can have a seat in Sukhasana if you want to, which is cross-legged, easy pose. You might want to sit up on the blanket. Might need to pad the knees. I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to slip it underneath, palm up, my right butt. Okay. Yeah, just see how that feels. Okay. If it feels like too much, you just take it out. Okay, whenever you want to. And inhale here and exhale. I'm just going to let my left ear come down. So opposite way with the neck. Yeah. Good. And then just let your nervous system begin to down-regulate, if it can, by lengthening your exhale, by adjusting as necessary. Let's take 2 more breaths there. Good. And then slowly slipping that hand out. You can take your left fingertips to the side of your head and just gently bring it up. Releasing, switching sides. Left hand under butt. That's it. Palm is up. Right ear can slowly come away. You can always lean away too, placing the right hand out. Just imagine with every exhale, you're just rinsing out that left side of your neck, all the way down your shoulder, down to your wrist and forearm. 2 more breaths. And 1 more breath. And then gently right fingertips to the side of your head. As you lift the head back up, slip the fingers out. And just pause for a moment. Hands resting. And let your eyes close if you want. Notice your breath as it comes in and as it goes out. Notice what your nervous system is like right now. And from here, we're going to come onto our back. So if you want to put more clothes on, if you're getting a little cooler, you can get that going. If you want to grab a bolster for the final restorative, you can do that. I'm going to have my block. I'm not going to pat my head yet. I'm just going to come into a supported bridge. It could be a low block, a medium block, or a bolster. And options here could be to take legs up or one leg up. Or any other options from this position, right? One leg in with one leg straight, right? Or just staying right where you are. And now from here, let's work with our breath, just a settling breath. Just inhaling for a count and then making your exhale longer than that. If you've been doing a lot of breath work, you might even be able to make it twice as long, but that's not necessary. Just working with a long exhale. And if you've got your feet off the floor, you can slowly bring them down one at a time. Just as you're ready. And then you can transition out of your supported bridge pose if you want to. You can always choose to stay. And when you come out, you might like to do a happy baby pose, or you might like a twist. So see what your body would like. Taking your time as you just come through some finishing postures that you prefer. And as you're ready, you can find your way to Shavasana or any other restorative pose that you prefer. Oh, no rush. And it's 10:15, so if you needed to leave right at 10:15, please feel free to do that. But if you have another few minutes to stay, then please do that too. Okay. Give me a little wave if you'd like an eye pillow to put over you. I can bring you one. Okay. And if you need any other props, just give me a little wave too, and I can bring you that, like a extra blanket or a bolster. You might take a sigh when you get into your pose, letting go of all effort. Try this. So Shavasana is a practice of letting go, right? So you can set yourself up in any position that allows you to practice that. If you feel supported enough to practice that. You notice all the contact points with the floor and the props. And inviting softness in around your eyes, behind your eyes. Down through your sinuses and your jaw. And inviting softness around your tongue and in your throat. Maybe feeling as though you're dropping in a little bit further into the floor below you. As you invite softness into your shoulders, your arms and hands. Inviting softness down into your chest and your belly and your back. Your hips and your legs. All the way down to your ankles and your feet. And then again, can you sink a little bit further, almost like you're making an impression into the floor below you, letting go. And if there were one quality you wanted to bring into your day today, just bringing that to mind for a moment. And imagine you could breathe in that quality to every cell in your body, all the way down to your toes. And as you exhale, letting go of any grasping to it, just letting it be. And what does that quality feel like when you embody it? You can slowly bring movement back whenever you're ready to. You're also welcome to stay still longer. And I'll end our session with the sound of Om, that you can join me or you can stay still. I'm just going to inhale and then Om. Inhaling. Om. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me. And just take your time before you move on for the rest of your day.